The Momentum, Australia and Italy Business Forum, was an Italian Chamber of Commerce and Industry's great success. The event, organised by the Italian Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Perth with the support of Intesa San Paolo, took place on 23rd and 24th of September 2013 in Rome, in the beautiful setting of Palazzo Altieri. It brought together prominent Australian and Italian bankers, lawyers and experts in the finance, energy and infrastructure sectors to discuss the future potential business opportunities between Italy and Australia. The booming Australian economy is creating opportunities for enhanced business relations between the two nations, particularly in relation to the infrastructure sector. This opens a new world of possibilities that also includes mega players from Asia such as China, Korea and Japan. The latest Australian Bureau of Statistics reports show a continuous positive trend of Italian exports to Australia that reached more than $5 billion during the January and October 2012 period, with an increase of 5.2% compared to the same period of 2011. There has been growth in the value of 87 main projects in the mining and energy sectors in Australia at a developed stage to the value of €215 billion. The conference involved representatives from Italian and Australian major companies who participated, delivering their interesting speeches and discussing the topic both from an economic and a cultural perspective. Massimo Perotti, Perth Italian Chamber President, opened the conference, followed by the address of David Ritchie, the Ambassador of Australia for Italy, and Walter Ambrogi, Head of International Corporate and Investment Banking Division for Intesa San Paolo. The keynote speaker for Australia was Mark Barnaba, the Chairman of Macquarie Group Western Australia, who addressed the conference on the growth of capital markets in Australasia and what that means to Europe.
Another fact, and it's one that gives me great hope that Australia will do well in the next few years, is that capital expenditure for committed projects and very near committed projects which have been financed over the next 2.5 years. So these are projects across all of Australia in natural resources and infrastructure which are committed or have been financed, is just over $260 billion in value. So we know that if nothing else, in the next 30 months, $260 billion will be spent on infrastructure projects.
Giandomenico Ghella, ANCE President of International Contractors and Chairman of Ghella SPA, focused his attention on what is the experience of an international construction company approaching for the first time Australia.
The most relevant issue coming to Australia is that you enter a transparent market. You may say it's obvious. It's not the case for most countries in the world. I wouldn't say the same thing for more than a handful, maybe less number of countries in the world. So it's a place where the capability of delivering the best value for your money is fully recognized.
Lucio Della Martina, currently CEO of Nexus Energy and previous executive manager of Woodside Australia overseeing the Pluto LNG project, and Craig Yaxley of KPMG Energy, presented a general picture of the facts about the infrastructural development connected with the energetic sector. Main opportunities for Italian and international companies were also discussed by Simone Desmarlier, Consul General Milan and Trade Commissioner Austrade Italy, Massimo Messeri, Chairman and President of Nuovo Pignone GE Oil and Gas, and Daslav Brick, Senior Vice President Business Development Saipem SPA. On the second day, Carol Nairn, Head of Arbitration at Skadden, together with Douglas Nordingler, partner of Skadden's Energy, Pretix in Europe, and Ludovica Parodi from Enel, analysed the Australian policy on foreign investments in the country. They also gave some useful guidelines about the initial stage on the market's introduction, with a focus on the creation of Italo-Australian joint ventures in the energy sector. Carol Nairn in particular spoke about the risk of cross-border business.
It was thought, and I think this is right, that certainly from my perspective, I do see what happens when cross-border business ventures go wrong. And they go wrong for a whole number of reasons. Sometimes they're legal, sometimes it's about money, sometimes it's out of everyone's control, sometimes it's a cross-cultural problem, sometimes I wonder how they even got together in the first place with a joint venture. And I certainly do see a lot of the, what I would call the pathologies of cross-border business. And that feeds back into how should you have done it differently. And certainly at my firm, we very much have the disputes people involved in the drafting and the troubleshooting at the negotiation stage, precisely because we are very aware of what might go wrong, and to see if we can risk manage that in putting together the deal in the first place.
The connections and the potential future opportunities between Australia and Italy have been discussed also from a cultural point of view on the last day, highlighting the importance of cultural relationship between different countries and the need of encouraging investments in this sector by privates. It's estimated that 10% of Australians are either Italian or of Italian descent, so the growth potential in trade between the two countries also provides an opportunity to enhance cultural links and activities. The first edition of Momentum Australia and Italy Business Forum has been a successful initiative for the promotion of the connections between Italy and Australia, thanks to the support of remarkable partners, the interest shown by all the 100 plus attendees, and the attending given by the media. Due to this highly successful event, a second Momentum Forum will be held in Perth, Western Australia in February 2015, as the Italian Chamber of Commerce President Massimo Perotti said.
In February 2015, please keep it free. There will be also the oil and gas exhibition over there in Perth, and that would be nice. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you very, very much from the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Perth, and thank you for your support, for all the partners, for all the sponsors and everything else. Thanks again.